tribulations, my heart, my balls, my somebody stop, somebody come and get me. Little did I know that the Lord was riding with me. The dark, the light, my heart, the fight, the wrong, the right is gone.
Welcome back to another JVS movie review brought to you from the Toronto Film Festival. Now here, this is a film that is a prequel to one of the best horror movies I want to say this year came out. I don't know, because I've actually not seen the original. I've not seen the original movie, which is X. I have not seen the movie, and I went into Pearl not knowing what Pearl was, and then deciding after I found out it was a prequel to X, me saying, hey, I don't even want to see X until I see Pearl, and then I'll go back and watch X to see if it's something I want to see, because a prequel should be able to stand on its own as a film. So again, this film is Pearl, and here's the quick synopsis. Set in 1918, during the era of the Spanish flu pandemic and World War I, the film explores the origins of Pearl, the villainous character from X, and it stars Miagoth as Pearl, directed by Mr. TIFF. Now, the best way to say about Pearl, if you are going into this expecting what X is supposed to be, like, again, I have not seen X, but I know X is supposed to be a homage of 70s slaughter movies. If you're expecting that from Pearl, you're going to be highly disappointed. What you get from Pearl is a early golden age Hollywood Technicolor nightmarish type of film. Wizard of Oz is always the first film that's going to pop into people's head when you say Technicolor. The way it's shot, it is very reminiscent at times of Wizard of Oz, but it's just of that time period of film that Ty West decided to shoot this film that way. So you're going to be in for a trip. I'm not sure if you're going to enjoy the trip, because in all honesty, coming into Pearl without me knowing this character, as I looked at the film and did it stand alone on its own, it is a toss-up. That's why I'll start off by saying it's a toss-up if this film can stand on its own. But from the jump, we are introduced to Pearl as she is feeding her alligator by a lake. It is a very weird opening here. And then we're introduced to Pearl, her home, the barn. We're introduced to her mom. The barn supposedly plays a huge part of X. We're introduced to her mom. We're introduced to her dad, who is dealing with the sickness from war, so he can't move, can't really speak, and has to be taken care of. And we're dealing with Pearl, who is at this point married, but her husband goes off to war. And the whole crux of her husband going off to war and how it affects Pearl is that Pearl thought her husband would help her escape this world, because Pearl never wanted to be there. Pearl wanted bigger things. She has grander ideas for herself, and she's stuck in a place that she doesn't want to be at anymore. And the whole film deals with her longing to be something bigger. Like, we get a scene early on in the film where she goes to town to get medicine for her dad, and we find out early on that when she goes to town to get medicine for her dad, she likes to go to the pictures to see the chorus line, the ladies, and things of that nature, because that's what she wants to do. And it leads to an odd relationship with the projectionist of that theater, played by David. I'm gonna get his name right, try to get his name right. David Corenswet. I think I said your name right, sir. And we get a weird relationship starting to build between them two, in a sense where he becomes Pearl's escape from this world. He tells her, you can come back anytime, watch any film you want to. We know, even though it's set up, we kind of know what road this is going to go down to, and it goes exactly down the road. If you're going to watch the movie, it's going to go exactly down the road it sounds like it's going to go between him and Pearl. But again, the whole film, the whole crux of it is Pearl wanting to escape this reality, this world, her wanting to be her own woman, wanting to stand up on her own, wanting to have these grand dreams of what her life could be, and understanding that maybe her parents are holding her back in a way. That's as much as I can say without spoiling everything else in the movie. I'll just say this movie looks beautiful. It looks so huge in scope. This looks nothing like any horror movie you would ever see. I would tell most people this is not a horror movie at all. Again, I love call it a Technicolor nightmare-ish type of film, but it's definitely not a horror film because there's no horror moments in this movie for me. But the way it's shot is beautiful. The score is amazing. Like, here you got to focus on the good things. Miagoth is amazing as Pearl, and the score is amazing, and the direction's amazing. What is it is that it's not a horror movie. And you got to wrap your head around that and realize that, hey, if I went in expecting this big slasher type of horror movie, maybe this is not it. I would even say, if you have not seen X, it may not be a good idea to see Pearl, because Pearl's going to play so different from anything you've ever seen before that if you don't have some history with the character, you may not find the movie interesting, and you may decide that this is not for me. I was on the borderline of that, of saying this movie is not for me because I don't know much about this character, which again is not a good thing for a prequel. Prequels should be able to stand on their own because it's a prequel. It almost felt like it was going to go into that orphan first kill territory of being such a pointless prequel. But again, it looks amazing. And it does give you the backstory of this character, and we see the slow deterioration of her mental state as she just becomes, I'm assuming, this monster that you get in X. Those elements are great. Those elements are something you should stick around for. But again, if you're expecting anything like X, and this is from someone who's not seen X, but I know about X, if you're expecting anything that you've seen from X, you're going to be highly disappointed. This is something completely tonally different from that film, and whether that's a good or bad thing is more up to the audience who loved X, and if this is something that you wanted this movie Pearl to be. So Pearl, brought to you from the Toronto Film Festival. Out of a possible 10, I'm going to give Pearl a 6.5 out of 10. Again, I don't know much about the character, but what I do know is I know when something is directed great, I know when something's written well, I know when something's acted well. All of those elements exist in this film, and for that reason alone, you should see it. Again, if you're expecting X or any form of a slasher film, this is not for you, but if you're expecting a different spin on what a horror movie can be, check it out. Let us know what you think of it. This has been another JVS movie review from the Toronto Film Festival. Peace, people.